Hello, good morning students. Today in this video, we are going to learn 10th class CBSE and state syllabus globalization. Globalization is nowadays we have been listening throughout the world. If we see the meaning of globalization, this is nothing but interconnecting all the nations through trade, commerce, business, including exports and imports. So globalization is nothing but interlinking of all the countries with trade, business, commerce, including exports and imports of goods and services. Actually, globalization was began in the 19th century. It was started by the rich countries, nothing but developed countries, which countries are economically very strong. Though the term globalization was began in 19th century, it came into force from the mid of 19th century, and nowadays it is not a wonder that no country in the world has unknown about globalization. It means the maximum countries they know very well about globalization. It means the globalization, why necessary? First we have to see. Globalization is necessary for all countries. Why? What is the reason behind? Suppose we take some countries in the world. Best example, India, our country. India possessed some articles and India does not comprise some more articles. Example, India is basically called as an agricultural country, and maximum agricultural items, food grains, fruits and leafy vegetables, all these are available in our India. Whereas we go to the some other articles, example, rock petrol, chemicals, in the same way fiber opticals and the other manufactured goods are less. Suppose we go to Saudi Arabia, the Gulf countries, they have abundant crude oil, abundant oil resources, and the remaining example, vegetables, fruits, food grains, these are less in Gulf countries. It means, example, we go to Japan. Japan is developing in its optical fibers, electronic goods, and Israel and Russia for weapons, America for chemicals. In this way, suppose we take any country in the world, the countries have specialization, the countries have special especially they are producing some different items. But no country in the world is producing all articles. So that is the key point, why one country has to take an association, one country has to take the cooperation from other country. Why? One country, why has to interlink with other country? This is the reason. So reason is what? No country has all type of materials, all type of sources, all type of articles. Now we have to see what are the advantages of implementing globalization. So globalization causes for variety type of articles, variety type of products. By globalization, it is possible it is possible decrease the distance of one to other countries. And third one, it is easy in developing of relationship in different countries, among different countries in the world. The same way, by the globalization, we can exchange the culture, language, religion, and we can exchange the goods. It means one country is selling its goods to other country through this globalization. But in the compared to the past centuries and in the present century, what is the difference between? Nowadays, globalization is completely erasing the borders between country to country. It is making easy the economical activities among all nations. And it is increasing, it is helpful. Globalization is helpful a lot in increasing the economy of countries. Because by entering into the globalization methods, the developed countries are only giving training to the developing countries. Developing countries are also helpful to the underdeveloped countries. Likewise, almost developed, developing, and underdeveloped all countries are collectively participating in the method of globalization. So, by this globalization, we can produce the worldwide demandful articles and we can get the best price of the article, and we can reduce the gap between country to country, and we can exchange the culture, tradition, languages of all the world countries. And it is globalization is providing a chance for us in learning different attitudes, different cultures of all countries in the world. But we should not forget, globalization is just like a weapon in the hand of man, which provides sharpness on both sides. It means, I am saying indirectly, by implementation of this globalization methods, there are in the world the countries which are getting more benefit and which are developing also can be observed. Same way, the countries which are incurring loss also can be observed. It means globalization is giving two type of negative and positive approaches. If we know completely about the globalization methods, definitely our country will be benefited. Suppose we don't know about the globalization methods, the rules, definitely our country incurs loss. That's why it is better to implement globalization methods throughout the world after learning about the procedural ways of globalization. Globalization, I told you, it is not only developing the economy, not only improving the money of the people, not only providing the best price of the articles, not only able to know how we have to produce the articles with our resources, how can we interlink with the country to country, all these benefits are observing. But at the same time, globalization is helpful for exchanging culture. Even it is showing a significant level impact on the issues of political, economical, cultural dimensions also. If we see the political dimension of globalization, globalization was introduced, I told you, in 19th century. And by seeing the globalization methods, it is easily passing the news, the information through these net centers, through these TVs, through the channels, one country's information is easily passing and watching by other country people. Best example, globalization is also causing for Arab Spring. If we take some African countries like Tunisia, Algeria, and Morocco, Egypt, in all these countries, we observed there was a dictatorialship. Now almost all the countries, people came to know that they are realized that democracy is the best form of government compared to monarchy or dictatorship or autocracy or any other form of government. That's why by copying the Asian and European countries, the African